Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to show you guys step by step how to make a really simple base mesh for sculpting. We're going to be doing a female base mesh this time. So you can see here, this is going to be the starting process. We're going to take some primitive shapes like UV spheres, cubes, things like that. It's just really simple objects, and we're going to be subdividing them, stretching them out, and placing them in a rough shape like this to make, a whole bunch of customizable shapes that you can start off with. Then we're going to take all of those, and in the next process, we're going to join them together. And with a remesh modifier, we're going to turn them into one solid mesh. And then we'll have exactly what we want, something we can start sculpting with in our sculpting mode. But the thing here that's really cool is that this is something you can save and use over and over again as many times as you want, and it's easily customizable, and you'll learn a thing or two. So definitely watch this beginner-friendly video as we make a female base mesh in Blender for sculpting. So jumping into Blender, let's go ahead, make sure we have a nice clean empty scene. And we're going to go ahead, Shift A, and the main shape we're going to be using is a UV sphere. So we're going to go ahead and add that in. And in our front orthographic view, let's actually go ahead with this one, and let's just go and give it a mirror modifier. And let's go Shift A, let's quickly add in a empty, we'll add in a cube. Then let's grab our sphere, let's go to the mirror object, eyedropper, and then select that empty. And now if we go G and we move it over, we've got this. A mirror. So now let's also give it a subdivision surface modifier. Let's right click and go shade smooth. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go Shift D to duplicate and move this over. This is just going to be our spare that we're going to use when we need to. Okay, so just keep that over there. And then let's grab this one over here. Let's go G and let's move it up. And let's go S and scale it down quite a bit, about this much. And let's go G and move it in to about here. Maybe just a little bit closer like that. And we want them for now about this high off the ground. We can always bring them down a little bit in a second. But what we're going to do, we're going to start by making the top part of the legs. And this is really simple. So let's tab into edit mode. And I'm going to turn off my proportional editing. And I'm just going to grab the bottom part of the sphere in edit mode. And I'm going to go E to extrude it down to about here. S to scale, and then G to move it over, and then R to rotate it a little bit, like so. And then I'm going to come in here, Control R. I'm going to roll in a few loops with Control R, double click, and then I'll just grab a loop here, Shift Alt, left click on a loop, enable proportional editing, and then just go S, and you can roll the middle mouse button to control the fall off. Let's just give it a little bit of volume. And then let's also grab this top vertex over here. And let's just go G and move that up a little bit, like so. And let's grab this vertex over here and just go G and just move that out a little bit. And on the side here, just give it a little bit more volume. And then in our right view, we're just going to go over here, grab these bottom verts, and then go G, Y, and just move them forward with proportional editing, just to give them a shape like this. And there we have it. We now have the top part of the legs, very easy to make. And now let's just grab our sphere, Shift D to duplicate, bring it over, S to scale it down, and let's move this over here where the knees are going to be. In fact, let's scale it even smaller, about this big. Let's bring it up into here. Let's tab into edit mode and then select the bottom half of the sphere. E to extrude, S to scale down about this much. Select the whole thing and then go R, just rotate it slightly, and then tab back out. And then we're going to go into our right orthographic view. We're going to go G, Y, and move it forward a little bit. Tab into edit mode and then select a vertex over here. And with proportional editing, let's just kind of bulge it forward a little bit by grabbing some of this topology and making this sort of shape. And then grab a vertex down here on the bottom and then go G and just kind of move it back like so. And then in the front, I'm just going to grab this vertex here, just bulge it out a little bit and grab this one. So just this sort of shape for the knee, very simple. And then we're going to tab back out. And now let's grab this leg over here in object mode, Shift D to duplicate, move it down, S to scale it, and let's go G and bring it up a little bit. Tab into edit mode and let's select these bottom verts and let's go G with proportional editing and bring it down to about here. And then let's just grab some verts on the side and go G and just bulge it a little bit, and then same over here, just kind of give it a little bit of a bulge like this. And then here at the top, just grab some verts and just kind of tuck it more in here where the knee is, like so. Okay, now let's go to our right orthographic view and let's just fix a few things over here. So we're just actually going to select the whole thing and then just go R to rotate it like so, G just to move it back a little bit. And then let's come in here and select some of these back verts, and let's just go and bulge this out a little bit like so. And the same with these ones over here, just giving them a little bit more volume towards the back. And now we've pulled that out to make a little bit more volume. Let's tab back out. And now let's go and add the hips and go on up from there. So in our front orthographic view, we're just gonna go Shift A and we'll just add in a UV sphere. We're not using this because this is mirrored. This doesn't have to be. So we're gonna go G, Z and move it up roughly to where we want the hips to be. S to scale it down about this much. Right click and go Shade Smooth. And let's give this a subdivision surface modifier. Let's go Shift D to duplicate and Z and move it up for now, just so we have a spare one. And now let's grab this one. Let's tab into edit mode and let's enable the X mirror. And now let's grab a vertex over here on the side, and with proportional editing, we're gonna go G and just kind of pull it out like so. And once we've done that, we're gonna press A to select everything, and let's go G, Z, and just bring it down a bit like so. And what I might do, I'll just grab the vertex here on the side. I might just bring this in a little bit. I've gone out too far, I think. Just a little bit like that. And then let's grab this vertex over here. Let's go G, and let's just kind of bulge it in just a little bit like that, and then kind of bring it out, just to make this sort of shape. And then in the right orthographic view, let's grab this top vertex and go G and move it forward like so. And then let's grab this back vertex and let's just kind of tuck it in like this. And then just moving this forward just a little bit more. Maybe let's grab this top vertex over here in the back and then kind of just press it down in like this, kind of making this sort of shape. And now that that is done, let's tab back out and let's grab this sphere at the top. Let's go G, Z and move it up a bit. And let's go Shift D to duplicate and Z and let's just move that down to about here. And let's tab into edit mode. Let's enable the X mirror and let's grab this half over here and go G. Let's tuck it in to make it a little bit narrower like so. Let's grab this top vertex and let's just go G and flatten it a little bit. And then let's go into our right orthographic view. And in our right orthographic view, we're going to grab this back vertex here and go G and then just tuck it in, making a shape like this. And then let's grab this front vertex here and go G, bring that forward a bit, and just kind of squeeze the whole thing in like this. Keep bringing it in, and then maybe just grab this vertex here and just flatten that a little bit. And then we're just going to come here and grab one of these corners here and just go G and kind of make a little bit of a dimple like that. And that's all we need to do. Let's tab back out, and now let's go grab our sphere over here. Once again, Shift D to duplicate and Z, and let's bring it down to about here. And let's tab into edit mode. Let's enable the X mirror. Let's select the vertex over here. And then we're gonna go G and just kind of bring this in with proportional editing to about here. Let's go into our right orthographic view. And let's grab this bottom vertex here on the sphere. Let's go G and move the whole thing forward like this. Let's grab some verts here at the back and let's go G and just tuck all of that in forward like so. And then let's grab this top vertex and go G and just drag it up to about here. And then let's grab some of these verts over here and just kind of make the back of the shoulders. Let's just bring this out, adding some volume over here like this. So we kind of have like this jelly bean shape over here. And then just to give a little bit more curvature to the spine, let's just tuck this in down here like so, just to kind of add this sort of shape. And now let's go back to the front view and let's grab these verts over here. Maybe a little bit more up, and let's just go G and kind of bring this out just to kind of make the shoulders. And just like we did to the bottom piece here, we're just going to come in here and grab this corner and then just G and let's just dimple that in slightly like so. A to select everything, and let's go to our smooth tool and just lightly smooth it out a bit like so. And let's go back into object mode and let's just move this sphere up a little bit so it's not in the way. And then let's just grab our starting spheres. Let's go Shift D to duplicate and let's bring this up to the shoulder. S to scale it way down, and then G to move it in here where the shoulder sockets are going to be. So let's place it about here, maybe down a little bit about here. And then in edit mode, we're just going to take everything and rotate it about 30 degrees like so. Let's grab this vertex over here and then go G and let's stretch it down to make kind of like an upside down egg shape. And then let's grab this inside vert. Let's tuck that in a bit. And now that we have this, let's go to our right orthographic view. Let's just grab some of these verts at the back and let's go G and kind of stretch them back like so to kind of make this sort of shape. And that's all we have to do there. Let's tab back out. And now let's go ahead and grab our phi over here. Let's go Shift D to duplicate, move it up here. S to scale it down a bit, and then G to move it in, and then R to rotate it. And now we're going to start making the arms. Maybe let's just tuck this back up a little bit. And I might scale it up a bit. I might have made it just too small. And then let's go into edit mode, and let's grab this bottom vertex over here. With proportional editing, let's go G and bring it down. And then let's just bring it in a little bit like so, with proportional editing. And then in our right orthographic view, we're going to go G to select everything, and let's just move it back a bit. And then let's grab some of these verts at the back, and let's just bulge them like so, just to add a bit more volume towards the back. And then I'm just going to grab these bottom verts here, and I'll move them back a little bit as well. Okay, maybe bring this out a bit. That's looking about right. And now back in object mode in the front view, let's go ahead and select the knee joint. Let's go Shift D to duplicate, bring it up to here, S to scale it a bit. And let's just move it up about here. And in our right view, let's go G and move it back a bit. And then in edit mode, we just grab these verts over here, and let's just tuck them up a little bit, S to scale them, just to make them a bit pointier. Let's grab this one down here and scale it a little bit as well. And then in the right view, let's just kind of move this forward a little bit by grabbing some topology at the bottom. And we kind of have this sort of simple looking potato shape. And let's tab back out. Let's recycle by grabbing the arm up here, Shift D to duplicate, bringing it down, S to scale it slightly, R to rotate it out a little bit, and then G just to move it. And let's go into our right view, and let's go R and rotate it forward a little bit. And then inside of edit mode with proportional editing, let's just select some of these verts over here and then go G, just tuck them in a little bit like this, tuck this in a little bit like so. And then let's just quickly grab this vertex up here and then just go G and kind of bring it up. And this one over here as well, just adding a little bit more volume over here like that. And then in the inside here, we're going to grab that and just bring it out just to add a bit more volume over there. And then one more thing, let's just grab a vertex down here. And what we're going to do, we're going to take this shape and just kind of drag it down, making it a little bit more pointy with proportional editing, just so it folds into the hand easier later on. And this is what we have. So let's tab back out. So we now have the legs, the body, the arms. Let's now work on the neck and the head. So for the head, I'm going to go Shift A. I'm just going to add in a cylinder. I'm going to go G, Z, and move it up. S to scale it down, and then tuck it down in here. I'm going to go into my right orthographic view, and then I'm going to go R and rotate it forward a little bit. And I might just scale it down even a bit more. And then I'm going to tab into edit mode and select this top face and go E to extrude and R to rotate slightly. Move it forward a bit, and then S to scale. And then I'm going to go Control R, add in a loop over here, kind of move it back. Control R, add one in here. Just give it a bit of curvature. And then I'm going to go and give it a subdivision surface modifier. And I'm just going to grab this face, go E to extrude, S to scale. And I'm going to go into my right view and just go G and move it out. And I'll grab this bottom face here, E to extrude and Z, bring it down. And tab back out, I'm going to right click and go Shade Smooth. I might just grab it though in the front view and go S, X, and just kind of scale the bottom along the X a little bit like that. Now back in object mode, let's select our shape here at the top. I'm just going to go G, Z, move it up a bit. Shift D to duplicate and Z, and let's bring down one over here. S to scale it down about this much. And then we're going to go into our right orthographic view. And let's quickly go into our sculpting workspace, which I'm already in. Let's go over to our object mode. Let's change it to sculpt mode. And then let's go over to our active tools, properties here. And let's just go down, enable dynamic topology, go OK. Let's go ahead and let's turn on the X mirror under the symmetry. And then let's go ahead and get our grab brush, or maybe even our snake hook brush. And let's go F just to grow the brush, make it nice and big. And then we're just going to grab the front part of the face here. We're just going to take it and drag it down like so. And then in our side view, we're just going to take it. Let's get our grab brush actually, and let's just move it forward. And I'm going to actually grab this, maybe make it way more forward. And then drag all of this down over here, just to kind of make the back of the head. And let's grab this over here and just give ourselves a little bit of a forehead, like so. And then let's go into our front orthographic and let's just give it a little bit more volume on the side here in the front of the face. And then holding in Shift, I'm just going to lightly smooth it out while I'm using this brush. And you can keep using this brush just to finesse it a little bit, but we're not going to go too crazy. Remember, this is only a base anyway. So let's go back into object mode. And then back in object mode, let's go ahead and continue by working on the hands and the feet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, Shift A. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to add in a cube. I'm going to go G and move it over here. And once again, like all the other objects, we'll go ahead and give it a mirror modifier. Click on an eyedropper and then select that empty as a reference. S to scale it down. G to move it in here to where the hand is. And then in the right view, just move it forward. R to rotate it. S to scale it a little bit more. Just kind of put it at the bottom of the stump here, like so. And then tab into edit mode and then select these two bottom verts or the bottom face. And then just go G and move it down and then S and let's go Y, S, Y and scale it like so. Then go into the front view and then select the whole thing and then go S, X and flatten it a bit and then R to rotate it like so. So we have this sort of shape. And then we're going to go ahead and give that a subdivision surface modifier. And let's bump that up to 2 like that. Now at the moment it looks a little bit messy, but we're going to come in here, Control R. Let's just click once and slide in an edge loop. Control R, click once, slide in an edge loop over here. And then with this face over here at the top, you can select this face here. We're just going to grab that G to move it in, S to scale it a bit. And now we have this sort of corn looking shape. Now let's go into our front view. And in our front view, we're just going to grab this face here and G, just move it out a little bit. Grab this one and just kind of push it like that, just to add a little bit of a curve. And then let's tab back out, right click and go shade smooth. Now we're going to go Shift D in object mode, move one down, R to rotate it. And then in our right view, let's move it forward. S to scale it up a bit. And with this one, we're going to tab into edit mode and we're going to go Control R, add in a loop. And let's go over and select this middle vertex over here. With proportional editing, let's go G and just kind of drag it down, just to kind of make this sort of shape like that. And then from here, you can just kind of shape it to make it look a bit more like a hand shape. Remember, this is only a sculpting base like that. And now let's go to our front view. In the front view, I can see I might want to grab this and go S, X and just flatten it a little bit. Rotate it like so. And maybe move the whole thing in just a little bit. And that's looking pretty good as far as a hand shape goes. Now we just need to make the thumb. So let's go back into our right view. And I think for the thumb, we'll just grab this sphere, Shift D to duplicate, S to scale it down. And I think this will make a really good shape. So let's bring it in closer to here. Just kind of placing it right over here. Tab into edit mode and go S, Z and scale it like so. Tab back out, S to scale, R to rotate, and then G to move. And let's place this about here. In fact, I might scale it down just a bit and then just move it more out here. And then we're going to go Shift D to duplicate, move another one out, put it here at the tip, S to scale that down, R to rotate it down a little bit and just moving it to the tip here. And then tab into edit mode. Grab this tip over here, S to scale it, just to make it a bit narrower. And then grab this tip over here and then S just to scale it a bit, move it further up, just like that. And then let's just grab the inside here and just kind of tuck it in, just kind of making like a finger shape and maybe just a little bit over here. Tab back out and now we have the thumb over there. So looking pretty good so far. Let's go ahead and make the feet. So for the feet, we're going to grab this sphere. We're going to go Shift D, bring it over here, S to scale it down, and I'm working in wireframe. And I make a small one at the top like so. And then in the right view, I'm going to go G, Y, and move it back to about here. Or maybe just a little bit more forward, just about here. And then I'm going to go Shift D to duplicate, move another one down, S to scale it. So now we have a small sphere on top of a bigger sphere, like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab the sphere over here. Instead of duplicating it, this time we're just going to move it in. We're going to go S to scale it down. And then we're going to go Shift D to duplicate, place one over here, which we'll use in a second. Okay, so we'll just place this over here, right there. And then let's grab this sphere over here. Let's go G and move it in, S to scale it and place. And I'm going to move this guy up just about here. And now let's go into our sculpting mode. Let's go ahead now and let me think about this. Let's go over to our properties here. Let's enable dynamic topology, go OK. And we're going to lose the mirror there, but that's okay. We're just going to go with our snake hook brush. Let's grab the tip here and move it forward, and then grab the bottom here. And let's just kind of make like a rough foot shape, kind of like so. Very simple. Let's go to our bottom orthographic view, and then let's just grab, oops, I was meant to go to the bottom, yep. Let's just grab this over here, and then let's just make a foot shape using the snake brush tool. So that's just going to be like a pointy area over here, and then just bring it down and in. Just a rough foot shape. Remember, this is once again just a starting female base, so we don't have to go too crazy. But don't make the feet too big either, just something like that. And then this is kind of like roughly the shape I'm going to be settling with, keeping it very basic. Maybe just bring it up in here just a bit. And now that we're done with that, let's go over back into object mode. So now let's just make the rest. So we're just going to grab these two spheres, S to scale them a bit, and I'm just going to go move them back in about here. And then let's just tab into edit mode, select this top vertex, and with proportional editing in our right view, let's just drag this up and just kind of make like a teardrop shape. Let's go into our front view, and let's just go G and move it over to the side, and then grab the inside vertex here and just kind of move it like so. Just kind of making like this avocado teardrop shape like this. And just kind of grabbing this, just move it back in further. Okay, something like that should be fine. Tab back out, and now we have that done as well. So there are a few adjustments you can make now. If you wanted to, you can come in here at any point and just adjust the shape a little bit to kind of match what you're looking for. But more or less, this is kind of an easy way of making this sort of shape that you can use as a sculpting base. Okay. Now I've shown you how to make this, so how about if you wanted to actually turn this into a single base? So what you're going to do is you're going to select the empty, and you're going to go M and go new collection. Let's just call it junk. We don't want to get rid of it just yet, and we're just going to hide that layer. Let's just grab the sphere M, or we can just even delete it. We just delete that sphere. So we're going to select all of this mesh over here, Shift D to duplicate. And then with this new duplication, let's just go M and let's just go new collection. Let's just call this join, because we're going to join it together, and go OK. And let's just drag this join collection to the top. And let's just turn off the collection where we had the previous one in. So this is our one that we're going to keep as a spare. And this is the one that we just, we're going to join everything together, right? So now with all of these on the join collection, we're going to go ahead and just select all of the mirrored parts. So all of the bits that have a mirror on them. So not the middle bit, so all the arms and the legs and the feet and the hands. And then you're just going to hold in Shift and select maybe just the leg over here and go Control J to join it all together. And we're going to go ahead and apply the mirror, and we're going to apply the subdivision surface modifier. And now that we have the arms and the legs and all joined together, all of the modifiers applied, let's now go ahead and select the individual body parts and just apply the subdivision surface modifiers. And this is also grab the breast, let's just apply those modifiers. And let's just grab these, the arms and the legs, holding in Shift, let's just select the rest of the things. So let's just select the body. So we have everything selected except the neck and the head. And the body here is the main active element. And we're going to go Control J or Command J to join all of that together. And then let's just select the neck and apply that modifier. And then let's grab the head and holding in Shift, select the neck. And while you're still holding in Shift, select the body, and then go Control J or Command J and then join them together. So now we have all of this as one joined together mesh. Let's tab back out. You can see now it's looking really good. Let's right click and go Shade Smooth. And now what we can do is my favorite bit. We can now go to our modifiers, and let's go ahead and give this a remesh modifier over here. And then let's go and make this 0.02. Let's go ahead and enable shading. And here we have it. We now have a female base mesh to sculpt with. And if you see over here, in fact, let's just call this now base mesh, right? And if you wanted to use this, you'd have to come here now and apply this modifier. So I'm going to come here to the drop down. In fact, I'm going to go Shift, duplicate, and X, move on to the side, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply that. So let's take this one and go M, and let's just fact, let's just keep this one on the base mesh. Let's select this one over here. Let's just go M and new collection, and let's call this Remesh. Okay, and then let's take the Remesh collection, put it underneath the base. Let's hide that one, and then now we can grab this, and I'll just leave it over here. So we got our base mesh, we got our remesh, and then we got this main collection over here, which I'll quickly bring back. And this is where all our individual shapes are, okay? So let's just call this original shapes. And I'm gonna go ahead and just give all of these a color so I can see them like that. Okay. And then with the original shapes, I'm just gonna go ahead and bring back my empty, grab all of these, and just gonna go G and move them over to the side. Turn off the junk here. So now we have our original shapes, our remesh, and our base mesh, all here in one place. You can kind of see the process. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. So we've gone from adding primitive shapes together and fusing them together to make a sculptable base mesh, which we now take into our sculpting workspace into sculpting mode, and we can turn it into a model. So I'll be uploading this file to my Patreon. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this Blender tutorial. I put a lot of effort into this one, and I really hope it's able to help some people make a nice female base mesh for sculpting. I'll see you guys next time.